and stuff from the 1600s and 1700, 1800 church history. Some stuff he did with German. You know, that's the way he was, like a theologian. He carried that. There were certain things I couldn't mention to him. I couldn't mention liberation theology. He didn't like that at all. He said that's liberal. When I says yes, but there needs to be, you know, these are areas that needs to be addressed. He says it's too liberal. And then he would explain why his position was. So there was things that, even though when I went to Union Theological, he was disturbed at me. He says, I can't believe you would go to that liberal university. I said, well, they're saying some stuff that is very interesting concerning liberation theology. He says, and then of course, they had all, you know, with that you have to know how to separate a lot of stuff, because in there they did have, you know, they had some extreme. They had feminist theology, womenist theology, gay theology, this, you know, so they had all these type of theologies in there. But he was a very good, so a lot of these individuals, they helped shape the prophetic, and then we had some women that helped shape it, you know, like prophetess Loretta Taylor in the early stages of prophecy, and then going back under Apostle Johnny Washington. So I had a lot of men that was part of the process of the molding of this gift. But no one person can take credit for the gift, because I was prophesying before I met all of them. What they helped shape was the character of ministry. And then a lot of the mentors taught me what not to do in ministry. That was the main thing that that I've learned with these mentors. And so we like ate together. Bishop McKinley, we used to vacation together, sometimes with our wives. It was very interesting. Their views on this is where you'll come into some points where you may differ with the mentor. Their views of some of their views in terms of the way the wives should be positioned in the church. I didn't embrace that part of them. They felt like their wives shouldn't be they felt like the wives shouldn't be in ministry. They should be, you know, sitting in church as a first lady, you know, sitting in the front row with a hat on. And if you notice, none of their wives really come to a position of functioning. But my challenge is that you have other women that come in those positions. And says, you know. So in approaching the mentor, you have to look at the age. I think you should look at the age of the mentor. You look at the wisdom of the mentor. And then you look at the culture of the mentor. And then you have to respect it. It wasn't for me to disagree with it, or neither did I try to change their policy, because that was their vision for their house. But then I felt like my wife was always supposed to be with me in ministry, and we just knew we started out together. So that was part that they never were able to speak into that area of my life in terms of husband and wife, in terms of ministry. But all of these mentors are important, and you're going to find that when you get a mentor in your life, you are gifted, because that means God has a future in mind for you. The question is, can you hear your mentor? And if you can hear your mentor, and if you can hear your mentor say, well done. I remember one of the I can remember some of the last words Bishop McKinley said to me. The first time Bishop McKinley had me to come back, he said to me, he said, after I got to, Christopher Plummer asked me about Apostle Johnny Washington. I knew Apostle Johnny Washington before he went into ministry. I was a little boy. He was my godfather. Amen. My mother and him sang in the same choir. So that's how we know Apostle Johnny Washington, so that I went and joined his church. But talking about mentoring, there was a lot of components that help to shape your life. Mentors are invaluable if you ever get one. And one of the things that I've found in the study of the 10,000 hours is usually your mentor won't, like when a musician is really ready and have the hours in, then a master teacher will usually ask to say, I'll train that one. Teachers don't take every student.
Yes.
What'd you say?
Master teachers don't.
They don't
Teachers
take-
will take all students, but master teachers will only take a few.
Only take a few, and they look at the quality and look to see if they're putting the hours, if it's worth their time. Thank you. Okay, let's go to this announcement, and we'll be right back to talk about the law of divine grace. Stay tuned.